Over Trick Room. You're
hey, respectively so, okay?
All right. Iron Hands and Cresselia versus Landorus and Dude, Iron Hands again.
Iron Hands is so good. We got one on each side right now with the Intimidate. That's what Iron Hands doesn't want to see. I mean, it's so bulky and so powerful, and now it's getting intimidated on turn one. That seems like a good lead by Brian, and right. We're going to go ahead and see how Justin adapts this, whether he keeps Iron Hands in and deals with the -1 or kind of maybe rotates him out and sees what he can do.
Iron Hands is certainly one of those Pokemon that does not want to take a -1 in any regard.
Yep.
Through an Intimidate, through a Burn, you want to keep those hands strong.
Ah, man, those Iron Hands.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we're probably going to see some kind of fake out right off the bat.
There it is,
right from Brian Youm onto Cresselia. And the Iron Hands faking out the Landorus as well.
Neutral turn going on here.
Half of these Pokemon are playing this game this turn.
Okay, yeah, we got a little damage here, a little chip. Hopefully it comes into their calcs correctly. Now we're going to see some 4 attacking Pokemon this turn.
That's right. I'd like to call what just happened the handshake.
Maybe.
Because it just right across. They just shook each other's hands. They're like, all right, take a little bit of damage. The U-turn going on through the Cresselia, that's some big damage. Getting this Landorus out of the field is going to keep Landorus hopefully alive in the face of this Iron
James doesn't look too happy about this play. I wonder, it kind of looks, if this Iron Hands doesn't have Volt Switch, does he? Does he have Volt Switch? If not, it is vouching to stay in and just kind of do some chip here to kind of set up for the next couple turns.
That's right. So Iron Hands going for the Wild Charge on Cresselia, going to do some damage there. Both attacks did go on the Cresselia this turn, but really just showing off how much.
No! What a call from Youm. Youm is gaming right now. Oh, that was a great read by Brian. Calling the Drain Punch, switching and Flutter to that shot, and just doing no damage. And that's why I think James looked a little upset, because he knew the Flutter was coming in and he targeted the Drain Punch into that slot.
Absolutely. This is going to be probably, I would say, a pretty pivotal turn. It's scary to see the Fluttermane out on the field right now with an Iron Hands at full HP. Fluttermane does not historically like to take some big damage from Iron Hands.
There's no way Brian leaves in this Flutter with knowing Iron Hands has a heavy slam. So, he is leaving it in. But at a -1, I think it might live, depending on how bulky it is. So let's see what this does here.
We will see. Yes, the Moonblast does take out the Cresselia. Cresselia took too much damage. It's really bulky, but it just couldn't hang. The Iron Hands going for the Drain Punch on the Iron Hands. The Iron Hands going to heal up the game.
Here we go. It is enough with the chip. So I think Brian is okay losing his Flutter here. He just wanted to kind of get some damage in. And what? Oh, I saw quickly a different Mon that wasn't the right Mon on the screen there. It was the Spider Water Mon, but okay, we're good. The Dewpider was on the screen for a second, but we're good.
Hilarious. So now James has the choice between Urshifu and
get that Intimidate off. Let's bring some attack down. And oh no! Oh my gosh! No!
Here it comes! Here it comes! King Gambit comes out.
Bro, Brian is sitting happy right here with the Dread Plate and the +2 Defiant, right?
+1, that's right.
+1, exactly.
Does bring it down, but Defiant brings it up, attack up by 2 stages, so that's a net +1.
Thank you.
Brian Youm's King Gambit, absolutely.
Nice.
Here for the audience. We've got that Iron Hands could go for some pretty big damage. However, important to note that Terrestrialization has not been used on Brian or James's side.
Interesting, which is always the meta play. I mean, a lot of people feel forced that they have to call their Terra early in the game, but saving your Terra for an in-game really helps the pressure on and really kind of checkmates the opponent, so that way they can't really counter once you get to these last 2 or 3 bombs.
Absolutely. For you new VGC players out there, don't have to Terra right at the very beginning.
Oh man, you're making me miss the Dynamax days, man. I love Dynamaxing turn 1.
Brian Youm opting to swap out the Iron Hands for Landorus, going to get an Intimidate off on his own side.
Brian playing really good this game, and the Iron Hands is now at -2. We haven't seen James's 4th Pokemon yet, but like you said, he is Terrafaring here, and I think this damage isn't going to be too good, but we'll deal with it.
We will see as the big ol' heart appears on the Hisuian Arcanine's head. Is There's no Terra this turn because Brian Youm opting to go for a Protect.
Seeing what the opponent does. I'm thinking maybe 50% damage, maybe 50, 60. Let's see what we get
Let's see.
Oh,
you know what? You were right.
Yeah,
You're
a little bit there.
Not bad, not bad. Iron Hand's going for the Drain Punch on the protected King Gambit.
Good call there. Yeah.
That is not going down today. Now Brian's seen what that Iron Hands can do. Will he opt to Terra here? Will he opt to switch? Will he opt to...
He is Terra Dark, so double targeting this slot is really a good call from James. So it's like he knows the pressure that's coming on that slot. He's got a Drain Punch and a Fairy Terra Blast, so it's going to be interesting to do if what Brian's going to do here, whether he's going to pivot it out. He'd go for a double protect, which would be kind of crazy, but I think this gives Landorus a chance to do some damage too. Oh, we've switched targeting here. We do sucker the Iron Hands, do a little chip there, setting up for the end game, but we double it and we take it out.
Down it goes. This Landorus is on fire right now.
Oh man.
Taking out the Iron Hands. No more Iron Hands for that.
Here's the Terra Blast. Does this kill? Does this kill? No. Yeah, it does. It
did 50% last time, thanks to your nice math. Landorus is going right down. There it goes.
I'm surprised he didn't target the King Gambit here. It's +2. You're just going to leave it on the field. It's a little interesting there. Maybe he kind of predicted a swap.
Now with the Landorus off of the field, this means that this Urshifu will not have to worry about any kind of Intimidate drops. So Urshifu can come out unopposed.
Pretty nice there, yeah. Okay. And we have you can protect with King Gambit here. So King Gambit's a little in danger, I think, because maybe you just close combat at it. But we do have Fake Out coming in, so he kind of puts pressure on the Urshifu there. So who's going to get faked out? I'm thinking Brian's going to fake out the Urshifu here, kind of give the King Gambit another turn, not force him to have to make a read. He doesn't have to protect, so we'll see what he does here.
Well, interesting that you would say that there was going to be a fake out. I would agree with that, actually, that it will be on the Urshifu.
Yep.
Protecting this Urshifu is a great choice right now if that is what James ends up going with. Just because
there's the Terra.
There's the Terra.
What Terra though?
That's going to be on Iron Hands.
Yep. There's no reason to Terra the King Gambit here. It's still going to be weak to both things on the field, so there's going to be a chance here to switch the Terra up, so you're going to be able to avoid a weakness play here.
Urshifu hits the protect.
It does.
Is the fake out going to be on that Urshifu? No, it is not.
Suckers, that's good damage because he's still at +1. Terra blasting the Iron Hands? He does. So the Terra is a good read here in that slot.
There you go. Knowing that the fake out is an option, he does go for Heavy Slam, but it lives at 4.
Iron Hand, or the Husini Arcanine doesn't weigh too much, but it does do a little bit enough damage to cause a threat here. So
that's Hisuian for kids at home who don't understand what he means. There's a Sucker Punch taking out the Hisuian Arcanine. No more Terra on that side. Down goes Arcanine.
So we got a 3 versus 1 match here. King Gambit's going down, so excuse me, a 2v1 matchup. So can Urshifu carry this back with the 2-1s? He's got the Flutter Mane in the back, Urshifu on. I'm pretty sure this Flutter is going to outspeed it.
However, the Drain Punch does bring it right down to 1. At this point, this is kind of Brian Young's choice between, do I want to hit it with a Flutter Mane? Do I want to hit it with an Iron Hands?
How do you want to accept your? We don't have Flutter in the back. It's not faded out yet, so it is not enough with the Wicked Blow. It's because Iron Hands is so bulky. It just takes so many hits. That's why it's so good. That's why it's number 2 on the metagame list today.
That's exactly it.
It's just I just love it. I wish I played it more, honestly.
Yeah. So a very, very intense game 1 between Brian and James. That, of course, being Brian's win. Congratulations to Brian. Now, moving into that second game, do you think that there's any kind of changes?
Bringing Lando into King Gambit is crazy. Like, I get, like, some players can dodge around it, can weave around it well, but it's just like it's setting up an end game where you have Lando in the back because you don't call King Gambit coming out in turn 1, but then you end game it by giving him the Defiant boost. It's just really scary, but I'd be surprised. I mean, James is a great player, don't get me wrong, and I'd be surprised if he brings Lando again to just kind of have to deal with that bobbing and weaving movement to not give that guy a Defiant again.
disincentivizing, de-incentivizing this from actually happening is going to be huge. As we go into the second game here.
We're going right at it. They've locked in quick.
That's
Holy
right.
crap.
They know
exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
Holy crap. So, yeah, he brings King Gambit right out the front. I think I saw James's back already. There is no Lando in this game.
Of course not. Not going to be making the same mistake twice. Brian going to be leading again with the King Gambit and Iron Hands. The James Evans leading with Celio and Iron Hands as well. Are we going to see the handshake? No handshake today as Celio goes back.
Oh, man.
Into whom? The Urshifu.
The Urshifu, man. Okay, Dark Urshifu. We fake out that slot. Oh, we didn't call the right slot.
Handshake denied as the Iron Hands hits the Iron Hands.
Oh, no. Forget about the Lando. I'm going to get my boost on my own and not be at -1. I'm going to be a -2 or a +2. I'm going to be a +2.
I'm going to take my boost when I want to take
do it on my own.
That's it.
Wow, that's great. Brian looking pretty strong here.
Absolutely. King Gambit sitting at such a wonderful position, able to sucker punch into an
+2 with the dread plate.
Yep.
Oh, a lot of damage here.
You don't underestimate the dread plate.
Oh, man. Okay, so let's kind of see what James is thinking here. You kind of got to play really smart. I mean, when you're under pressure, you know you have to go for a read here to kind of make up for the how you're behind. So I think James is going to have to make a good read here to kind of get back in placement.
Now, interesting. There was a lot of pressure on this King Gambit to actually perform on this next turn. Yes, exactly. Brian Youm understood that. Brought King Gambit out. Brought Fluttermane in.
Wow.
To take whatever King Gambit was about to take. Is that a close combat from the Urshifu?
Wicked blows.
No, it is not. It's going to be a wicked blow.
What? James making a great read here. I love to see it. James, like, giving the nice stern look like, boy, I got you.
Exactly. Hitting the Urshifu with the Drain Punch, not bring it down to Sash. Actually lives at 31. Drain Punch on the Iron Hands, just going to heal up a little bit.
That was the read James needed to make to get back in this game, to get pressure on the King Gambit, make it swap out after that Sword Dance, get the KO on Fluttermane. My buddy, one of my buddies, I gotta shout him out, Diddy. You have a heart attack if you lose your Fluttermane without doing any damage. So I'm sure Brian's having a mini heart attack right now.
There you go. Now with Landorus out, hitting the Intimidate on Iron Hands and Urshifu, this is going to be a bit of a predicament for James Evans here.
Okay, yeah, both of them. But, you know, we don't care about -1s with Urshifu. We just crit all day, baby.
That's true.
Okay,
Going for
so
the U-turn actually on the Iron Hands, interestingly
I
enough.
think Ursh targets that slot again. So something, it's going to probably take that slot, which is going to be the King Gambit, obviously, is going to take a Wicked Blow hit. And it's probably going to be like 25% damage. We'll see what we get here.
That's interesting that he's deciding to attack the King Gambit here.
And my Drain Punch again, chipping out the other guy.
Full on choosing to ignore the Urshifu at this point. Why do you think that is?
You know why.
Tell me why.
He was reading a Protect in that slot. But the Drain Punch comes on that slot. It just rips away. He doubles that slot, which is the covers for the switch.
Yep.
Covers for the 2-hit KO. Yep. I think it probably would have 2-hit KO if Lando stayed on the field. So great. James is nodding his head, playing great this game. Love to see it.
Made a amazing prediction there that Brian thought that Urshifu was going to protect. However, now, again, this Urshifu is sitting at -2. The Iron Hands is sitting at -2. This Landorus is out with a Choice Scarf. So it will be outspeeding the Urshifu.
Set, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving to see these two players go at it, man.
Will be outspeeding the Urshifu if he doesn't choose to go for a Protect here. At this point, just goes for the Rock Slide. Doesn't even
not enough on Urshifu. Yes, it does. Oh, and he gets the flinch. He gets the flinch. And then Drain Punch to Crest. Okay. All right. Brian's kind of making his way in. Okay, yeah. James saying, okay. You know, my Ursh is still up. You know.
At this point, Landorus has gone for the Rock Slide. It does have Choice Scarf. It's locked into that move.
Protect, right?
It will take out the Urshifu.
He's suckering.
It will take out the Urshifu if this move goes through. But will it go through?
Oh, man, this is interesting.
The Crest also has Ice Beam. And so, in order to combat that, Brian Youm terastallizes into flying.
Oh, man.
Now the Ice Beam from Crest won't be doing ×4 damage. That'll be doing ×2 damage.
×2 damage, yes.
That's
it will definitely live.
Urshifu hitting the Sucker Punch, the -2
Not
Sucker
enough.
Punch. Just getting as little damage as it can off before it goes down to that Rock Slide.
So it's obvious that thing is gonna be faster in all cases. So he had to go for the Sucker, and he gets another flinch. Okay,
there
you know,
is.
it's okay. You know, James is like, all right, I got the flinch. I'm still all right. I'm still in a good position. I just have to close this game out somehow.
Playing to his outs. Now, there was a world in there where James had decided to protect the Urshifu.
Get that Intimidate, James. We want that Intimidate now. We
Here it
either
comes.
swap it in the back or just get it off in the get-go and maybe just start healing up. I mean, he's only got 2 Pokemon left, so I think Crest is okay just like swapping out, getting more Intimidates, healing up, but we're going to choose to leave the Husini Arcanine in.
I'm never going to not laugh when you mispronounce Hisuian.
Oh, what? Mispronounce?
Oh,
hey,
no, yeah.
Chill.
You
chill.
mean correctly pronounced? So here comes the Iron Hands. We are going to see a terastallization on the Hisuian Arcanine.
I love
Going to get that big old heart right on its head.
Yes. Its little crown heart, and it's going to do some damage onto this Iron
Absolutely.
Hands.
This is a wonderful Terra in the face of an Iron Hands that can hit
he
with a fighting type
extreme
move.
speeds
Hits the
just to
extreme
kind of
speed.
avoid the Drain Punch, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But no, also to get around the Rock Slide.
Oh,
you don't want your
man.
Arcanine being flinching there.
Yep.
Right?
Nope. That's a good turn for James. James is looking pretty dominant here. I really don't see a way how Brian. Yeah, there we go.
Brian knows it.
Call it. I was just gonna get to that. I really don't see how Brian wins this game. You have another Intimidate you can swap out with. He's not doing enough damage on the floor, so we're sending it to a game 3, baby.
Now, at this point, at that level, at that point of the game, leaving before you let that battle play out is kind of the right play to do, because you don't let your opponent have that information of what I would do in a situation like this.
I get it. Yeah, you say that for the game 3 reads and just don't let him know. I mean, but then there's the other factor of it. You play it differently in the next game. But no, you don't. It's just like the old days where there was no open team sheet. You just don't want to reveal too much. You don't want to reveal your moves. You don't want to reveal There is a Rock Slide, there is a way.
Exactly. As they get prepared for our 3rd game. Now, my question is, are we going to see any kind of changes here? There are still 2 other Pokemon that
I
Brian has
know
yet
we're
to
going
show.
to see Iron Hand. I mean, I'm just making a read here.
course.
I know we're going to see Iron Hands in both leads here, but it's just like, and I think James was smart not bringing Lando, and I don't know, maybe he brings it because he knows he might not bring King Gambit this game.
We've got a change on our hands, folks. We've got Brian Youm bringing in Chi-Yu and Iron Hands versus James bringing in Iron Hands.
The
and for Celio.
famous Judy Chi-Yu has come to do the 252 special attack.
Now explain that for all of the folks at home that don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
Including me.
Just Chi-Yu's a legend in these parts, okay?
Fair enough.
And Judy has made him a legend, and we're going to see that proved maybe on Brian's side today. But James performed really well last game. Let's hope he keeps the momentum up and keeps Brian on his back foot.
Absolutely. And again, I just want to see that handshake. Iron Hands into Chi-Yu. Iron Hands into Celio.
I mean, they should know the speed tiers already. Can we fake out the fake outer and get some damage off?
That is what happened last game.
Okay.
Brian did fake out the...
he knew he was faster
James.
that turn,
Yep.
so he just took it out then, which he had a smart swap there. So the Fire Terror, I mean, guys, the Fire Terror, man, he just puts Chi-Yu in his spot, but he chooses this KOs. No, it doesn't.
Almost.
Oh, man, I love to see that when it KOs. It does not. Iron Hands is big enough where it can take that hit, Trick Room is up. Chiyu is the last one that's going to go this turn. And I think Iron Hands and Crest are going to go before both of his Pokemon.
That's a very interesting thing for people to understand in a best of 3. That if you know that your Iron Hands outspeeds another Iron Hands, don't go for that handshake. Go and attack the other Iron Hands with Fake Out. Make sure that it doesn't Fake Out. You now have earned yourself a free turn with your partner Pokemon.
So we're going to see a Loner Blessing. Usually Iron Hands is slower than Crest. Crest is pretty fast, believe it or not. But I need to see how it plays out here.
Certainly not faster than Chiyu, correct?
No, correct. Very correct. Unless it is Choice Scarf, Icy Wind. Oh! Not in this case.
We're going to be bringing the Cresselia out, bringing in... who's bringing in? That's Hisuian Arcanine. Sorry, not Hisuian. It's...
You don't even know anymore.
Hussein?
Hussein. Like Husseini? Hussein?
Oh, perfect. All of those.
Hussein.
Going to be bringing the Chiyu out for the Ogre Pun. Doesn't want to keep the Chiyu in because of that overheat special attack drop. Iron Hand's just going for the fisticuffs.
Brian brought Ogerpon this game.
That's right.
He's gonna bring some Ogerpon gaming. I was kind of sad I didn't see any Ogerpon last set, and we're gonna see it on the field.
Does this force the Hisuian Arcanine either to switch out? Does this force the Hisuian Arcanine to terrestrialize? It certainly does not want to be out in the face of the 2 Pokemon that are out right now. Ogerpon hitting with that Ivy Cudgel on that's 4 times effective.
Well,
Iron Hands 2 times.
We won't see the Husseini Arcanine Terra because the Terra fired already the turn before.
That's exactly correct.
But I'm wondering if we're going to see maybe a swap here. But no, he's leaving it in. Going for a Flare Blitz. He's trying to get rid of the Iron Hands, but I'm kind of scared for the Husseini. He's going to probably go down this. Oh, he goes for a Spiky Shield. Great call. James does not like that call at all.
And again, just like in that last match, we can see on the face cams there exactly the emotions that these players
because
are
I know James was thinking he doubles the Iron Hands
for
here,
sure.
Calls the Spiky Shield, but he vowed to hit the Ogerpon instead and probably regretting not doubling the Iron Hands.
That's right. That's right. That Iron Hand's taking a Drain Punch. The fact that it Drain Punched the turn before did give it just enough HP to survive this one. However, this Flare Blitz will hurt the Hisuian Arcanine quite a bit.
Okay, 2 turns of Trick Room left on the field, and I think we're going to go slower. I don't think the Wild Charge kills Ogerpon, if I'm not mistaken, but we know that slot just protected, so we might be able to double it. So the Ogerpon's at like 178, 1 max speed or something like that, so we know if it's speed invested or jolly, it's going to be faster than Arcanine. He takes it out. What are we seeing come in? Maybe the Chiyu?
It's going to be the Fluttermane. Fluttermane hops in. Now, is this going to soak up a Drain Punch? Is this going to soak up an Extreme Speed? There are good reasons to bring in Fluttermane right now.
Yep. Wild Charge, good call here. Holds on. He doubled it, correct. And
however, the recoil damage there is pretty huge. Drain Punch on the Hisuian Arcanine. Both Pokemon are staying alive this turn.
He lives. Okay, let's see it. Let's see this Flutter go down.
The Flare Blitz.
Bye-bye.
Now, again, the Hisuian Arcanine took quite a bit of damage there from the Rocky Helmet, from the Drain Punch, now taking even more damage from the Flare Blitz. However, it's not enough to take it out fully.
Okay, and Brian bringing back an Ogerpon now, I think, has one more turn of Trick Room, so he can vouch to just Spiky Shield again, and I don't think Iron Hands goes down here.
Iron Hands lived at 1, by the way. We need
with the Wild Charge? With
the Wild Charge. It just recoiled itself down to 1. If that Iron Hands had chosen to attack the other Iron Hands with a Drain Punch the last turn, and that Hisuian Arcanine Flare Blitz the Fluttermane, that Hisuian Arcanine would be gone right now.
Oh, that's a good read.
Because of all of that damage that that Fluttermane took.
Interesting.
Now, did James predict that? Yeah, only time will tell.
Yep.
But here we go with whatever this next play is.
If freaking Brian doesn't Spiky Shield the slot, I would be surprised. It's like
it would be really interesting if he didn't.
I mean, I think maybe Brian might be going for a read that he's reading the Spiky Shield and then just go ahead and attacking. But but James is, I think, hitting that slot with his. What I say, you have to Spiky Shield here and get out of Trick Room, and you got 2 P. You got a freaking Cresselia weak to Ivy Crudgel Water. And we got another Iron Hands that's just almost dead, but dies to the spiky shield.
Goes down to the spiky shield.
There we go.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
a great choice by Brian Youm, going for a spiky shield, taking out that Iron Hands.
Okay, but here's the good part about James' decision. He brings out Arcanine so we can get one more Intimidate off.
Yeah.
And he might, I don't know, if he can't protect. I'm pretty sure it's Choice Band here. I think he maybe switches in Ursh and goes for a Trick Room. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to Trick Room with Urshifu in the back, but maybe get some proc off here. What are we doing? We just going for damage? No reason to Trick Room. Yeah, I mean, you got Ursh in the back. I don't think it's a good idea to Trick Room. It's a good idea to heal up and just get some chip in.
This game is incredibly close, although both of them are down just one Pokemon.
We haven't seen James's fourth Pokemon
This
yet.
Hisui and Arcanine. It's Chi-Yu. He brought back the Chi-Yu.
Oh, no, I'm talking about James. I'm sorry.
James.
We haven't
Yes,
seen his
yes.
fourth
We have
Pokemon.
not seen him bring out the fourth Pokemon. But his Hisui and Arcanine is down to very, very low HP here.
He's definitely sacking it this
So
turn.
now we're seeing the terrestrialization from Brian's side. Going to be the Ogerpon. So we're about to see
We're
big
gonna
old
see the big mask,
mask.
baby.
wing. There it is.
He gets a special defense plus from this Terra, and Ogerpon already gets a boost normally on all moves apparently, which is something like it's like a hidden fact apparently.
That's right. Yeah.
There's the Ivy. Okay, yeah. James
Had
yeah.
his choice of which Pokemon to attack. Decides to go for the Cresselia.
Interesting.
Ivy Cudgel does so much damage. James knows that is catastrophic for him as he
knows
loses
it's-
the Fire
he's
Terra
shaking his head.
Cresselia.
No, James, it's not over. Don't say
As he
it.
loses the Fire Terra
No.
Cresselia, attacking the Arcanine with a Drain Punch, that goes down as well. Losing two Pokemon at once is so huge for Brian. Ivy Cudgel does so many things.
Ogerpon's good, man. It's really being welcomed in the meta. It's so cool to see it just counter Among Us. It counters Urshifu. It's I don't know what Pokemon's doing up there, but I think they understand what's going on because they know this Pokemon is really kind of changed the meta a little bit.
Here comes that Ivy Cudgel one more time. Doesn't do
Too much
damage to
This
that
is going down.
Urshifu. And down goes Ogerpon. That's right. Now, however, can it survive a Drain Punch?
I'm pretty sure it's Sash. It's going to survive, but we got Chi-Yu coming back in, and we're already collecting sheets. Oh, no, it does survive. Iron Hand gets more back. A Wicked Blow is not going to probably take out the Iron Hands now with that much health, and Chi-Yu is full health. Just pick your poison. Which one's it going to be?
And yet again, I think we're in the same situation that we were in about an hour ago, where just at the end of the game, you can choose which Pokemon wants to take
Well
out.
played. What a good set,
That's
man.
right. What a good game.
I think-
Congratulations to Brian Youm for taking this series 2-1.
Nice. It's nice to see him bring Ogerpon Game 3 and just kind of show this Mon is a Mon not to be reckoned with. It does have a lot of strategy to it. The different kind of, the grass, the fire, and they should have just made it the water, but the stone one's kind of weird. But I like it, man.
Absolutely. No, I want to keep on this Ogerpon topic here. Is the Wellspring Mask that was just there. That did so much. I want to focus on Ivy Cudgel specifically.
Yeah.
It is a 100 power, 100 accuracy move.
Crazy.
That becomes the type of whatever mask that you have on.
And has a critical chance.
It has a high chance to
It's
crit
got a
as
little
well.
spice of Urshifu in there. Kind of crazy.
It's a little spicy.
We're trying to get rid of this Mon, not bring some of it back into the meta.
That's right. When you pair that Ivy Cudgel with all of the things that the masks can do, right? Hearthflame Mask increases your attack by 1 stage. Wellspring Mask increases your special defense by 1 stage. That's pretty good. That's pretty sizable. Cornerstone Mask, that brings it up by, I believe it's defense.
Yep.
Yes. It is incredible the things that Ivy Cudgel can do when paired with Ogerpon. That whole kit just kind of feeds into itself so well.
It's nicely done. Brian really captivated. He took a loss in Game 2 and then adapted in Game 3 and really put himself in a good position. But it looks like we're going to have our winner come on in and talk to us.
And I really appreciate him going to the side of us instead of going right up back behind.
No,
because what had happened
no.
last time was he just kind of shocked me. It was like, oh, whoa,
No.
we're interviewing behind me.
I like how we turn back and look kind of, but maybe we should kind of keep our faces so we're not looking at the back of their heads this time.
You know what? It's either I can look up there to go and see him,
There
or I
he
can look
is,
down
our
here.
Victor.
Not really used to this outline, you know. I'm kind of used to sitting on the couch when I get interviewed. But this is,
Oh, just take my spot, Mr. Champion, all right?
hey, bro, what's up?
I feel like this microphone stand has gotten lower and lower every.
Yeah, what
Dude,
You know what?
I need a chair.
I'm kind of here for it.
All right.
There you go.
Being
And now it's too
6'1"
hot.
is not a good thing sometimes.
All right, let's
All right.
let's get to the matchup. Ogre Pond Game 3.
Yeah, so I was looking at James's team and I was like, okay,
Yes.
James is most likely going to bring the three King Gambit resists, which is Iron Hands, Terra Fairy Arcanine, and the Urshifu Dark, and the Cresselia most likely. That's what I assumed he would bring. So game one, I was testing the waters on how he would react to King Gambit, and I was like, okay, his answer is gonna have 3 resistors on his team, so King Gambit cannot do much damage anymore,
Right.
even if I get the +2,
Yep.
because everything resists on his team. So I was like, what if game 2, let's see how he reacts, because I was expecting him to try to counter lead me, expecting me to bring Ogre Pawn, but I was like, okay, it didn't work.
No.
Can I pause you right there? I want to hear more about the choice to Swords Dance in that moment.
So I was like, I get no value in actually attacking that turn, because I knew the Cresselia was going to switch out to the Urshifu.
Right.
So I was like, breaking the sash doesn't even matter in this scenario, because Drain Punch doesn't even bring it to the range of Drain, Katao doesn't even bring it to the range of Drain Punch.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to test my waters, I want to see what he brings, just in case he brought either Gastrodon or Landorus or something like that, just in case.
Yeah.
He's
I
not
was
going to
like,
bring
it didn't work out.
He's not going to bring Landorus anymore. I knew he wasn't going to bring anymore, and he didn't.
I mean, who knows? People, when they get panicked, they can pick another
Right,
one. You
right,
know?
exactly.
I've done the same thing at game 2.
Yeah.
The game 3 was my panic option, honestly. If the King Gambit mode doesn't work, I have 2 other modes that work, which is the Chi-Yu Flutter Main plus Ogre Pawn Iron Hands mode.
And then in game 3, you hit the dunk by bringing in that Ogre Pawn.
Yes.
Tell me
It
about
was
the
such
tell
a
me
good
about the
play.
choice to go and bring that when you didn't bring it on the first 2 games.
So I just wanted to honestly just give the King Gambit the glory because it's one of my favorite
Yes.
Pokemon. And it was King Gambit's really good into James's team regardless if
Yes.
he Terras the resistance or not. Because if I can force one of the mons that resists King Gambit to Terra by having Flutter Mane, Landorus, and Iron Hands, it becomes King Gambit food. So I was like, that was my perspective on how I approached it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I have one last question.
Go on.
Between Dreadplate and Black Glasses.
Thank you. This was my question, too.
Tell me why you
Is
chose
this a flex, Brian?
Hey, man.
Are you flexing
Is it a
the
flex?
dread plate?
Hey man, when he's a king, he needs to wear the plate.
Oh
he
my
needs to carry
God.
around with it.
He can't be
There it
wearing
is.
Hey
glasses.
man,
He
a king
can't-
wearing sunglasses?
No.
That's kind of weird. When he has a legendary plate, he can carry around, pull him out,
I
and
knew
read
it.
the sculptures on the freaking plate. Be
I
like,
knew it.
+2 King Gambit, Katao Cleave equals
Yep.
your death.
You're dead.
There's a lore reason for it. I love
Yeah.
that there's a lore reason. Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Amazing job. I can't wait to go and see what's going to be happening in round 5. That's going to be all for us for today.